welcome back to
the Pokemon Crystal.
The Pokemon Crystal.
All right.
We're back in Goldenrod City. If you can't tell, this is a new recording session.
Yeah, this is back for us.
Yeah, like we
so
are.
We're saying welcome back to each other as well. It's been a while.
It's been
I think over a month.
Yeah, it's been a little over a month.
I got fucking married.
You did?
Yeah.
You got married.
I am a married man now. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So I did a little bit of grinding, not a whole lot.
Oh, did you? Okay. I didn't realize that.
It wasn't, you're not going to notice a whole lot, but
Yeah, it looks like you didn't grind Spadoodle at all.
No,
I'm pretty sure she was 20 the last time.
Well, Spadoodle's a guy.
Oh, sorry. He was
not
20.
Showing.
That's a good question. Are the genders random for the starter Pokemon, or are they always male?
They're random.
Okay. That's good.
There's some that I think are more likely to be male or female, but in general they're pretty random. So I did just like a little bit of grinding, not anything crazy.
But we're still in the same area.
Right. But
look at those green
Saturday,
lips.
That means the bug catching contest is on today.
Are we gonna catch some bugs?
The rules are simple. Using one of your Pokemon.
Oh man, is there a Scyther in here? Yeah.
Possibly.
Fuck yes. Wait, are we going to replace our Heracross with a Scyther?
Well, we can always get a Scyther and see what happens.
Just see what happens.
So,
right.
Okay, so you're allowed to bring in one Pokemon to weaken things. However, if your Pokemon dies, you're done. So, go ahead.
Okay. You may need to edit this out, but didn't our egg hatch last time?
No, this is a different egg.
Okay, I didn't remember that. I'm sorry. All right. It's been a while. And to be fair, the last time I was kind of slouching and not looking at the screen.
Which won't happen this.
He means I was 100% slouching. Yeah. My feet were dangerously close to both computers.
And he goes,
terrible idea.
Fine. It wouldn't have been fine.
It wouldn't have fucked anything up.
Yeah.
Typical Ian.
Yeah, typical
Ian. So what egg is this?
So I don't even remember, if I'm being honest. I don't remember what the egg is. But I do. I want to.
That Oddish looked really dark.
Yeah.
It's the color scheme, I guess.
Color scheme was different back then.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send in our favorite Hen's Son. Because Hen's Son has hypnosis, so we can. And it's a flying type.
A flying type.
So I'm going to save.
So. Speaking of types, I don't know if it would be this is a good opportunity to start talking about this. If anything like is something super important about to happen?
No, I'm just going to go around and try to find a good bug Pokemon.
So I have been playing this game. I didn't realize that Isaiah wanted to play this next, but I'm hoping that this is different enough that
there's other options
it won't
too.
Be,
it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Huge deal. I started playing Emerald, but not Emerald. I started playing Pokemon Altered Emerald, and it's a ROM hack, and I gotta say, I haven't had this much fun with any Pokemon game.
Well,
there are a lot of changes.
So much fun.
Yeah, there are a lot of changes that are making the game a lot more enjoyable to me. Venonat. That thing I confused for Tangela.
Yeah.
A few episodes ago.
Yeah, it was more
we just watched that, and I felt like a dumbass.
So So here's just to you a little behind the scenes.
Fuck.
We just watched that episode, which is the most recent one to date.
Of course,
that has come out.
Of course, he disabled your only flying type.
Yeah, don't even get me started. But then I could suck my nuts.
So, Hoot Hoot is also a psychic type in the game I'm playing.
Interesting. So, are you telling me that ROM hack actually makes sense?
Yes. Yeah, actually. Makes sense to a degree. So there are two things that I have a problem with, and I've fixed both of those, right? The only two things that don't make sense to me, that shouldn't have made sense to the person that was creating the ROM hack, and I'll get to those. But yeah, a lot of types have been changed. I'll just get right into it.
Okay.
The things I actually enjoy about the game is that the dialogue is fucking hilarious, and when it's not hilarious, it's impactful, or it tells you something of value. You're not just talking to, when you walk around the town and you talk to people, it's not just like, oh, I like dogs, or some shit that you'd see in any other Pokemon.
Yeah.
some of them are talking about like the lore of Pokemon, and you're like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Or the something about this region that would be useful to know, and not just like press A to do so and so. Like actually useful shit.
Yeah, something that actually is gonna help you out a little bit.
A lot of the boring shit has been minimized. So a lot of, and I looked it up. Like I looked up a video of Standard Emerald just to see if I was like, wow, I feel like I'm really speeding through this fucking part of the game. But the dialogue for like when you're introduced to Pokeballs, way fucking shorter. Like,
that's good.
Here's the premise. This is what you do. You clearly downloaded this ROM hack, so you've played a fucking Pokemon game before. And that's, both of those are things that I really wish would be implemented in a lot of games. We've talked about that before a little bit.
Right.
Like maybe an option that says, I've been fucking playing Pokemon for 7 years. I think I've
been playing it for literally 16 years.
Or something like that.
I understand how this works.
So yeah, and the dialogue is like gets really, really fucking funny. I'm talking about like, you know, when you're in, I think it's Petalburg Forest, and that scientist gets like ambushed or whatever by that Team Aqua or whatever. Yeah. Okay. So I was watching that happen, and like, and the guy that was ambushing him called him bourgeoisie. Like, okay, he was like very Marxist, like, you're oppressing us, this is fucking bullshit. You're like, you have the means of production. I don't know if you know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So like just dialogue shit like that was really fun. And I don't expect that to be in any Game Freak game, but like the dialogue does need to be better. And I understand that some of it is for kids, but you watch any kids movie, there's shit in there for adults too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just watch an episode of SpongeBob. You'll get plenty of that.
Yeah, it's not fucking hard to put in without ruining it for kids.
Hi, Squidward. Hi, Mr. Krabs. Hi, Squidward.
So there's also reduced, the linear shit is kind of reduced a little bit. Generally, you know, there's always that one guy or girl that's preventing you from like, take a peek at
I wasn't looking at that. I was looking at the audio.
So I wrote shit down. You guys can't see it, but I wrote shit down so I wouldn't forget anything about this. Because I was pretty excited to talk about this. So, you know how there's always somebody who's like, yeah, you shouldn't fucking go over there yet.
Yeah, they're always stopping you.
They'll like, what I've seen so far, except for at the very beginning, is that they'll warn you, but they won't fucking stop you. They'll be like, hey, this is probably a bad idea, but like, you do it whatever the fuck you want to do. Okay? All right.
Like, look, if that's what you want to do.
Like, it's a dangerous area and you're like 7 years old, but if that's what you want to do.
That's Detroit over there.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Detroit.
Yeah.
All right, so okay. Here's something we've talked about before.
Okay.
In Altered Emerald is every fucking Pokemon up to that point. And that includes like the legendary birds, everything. Everything is accessible. Even the other starter Pokemon are accessible.
So
and I started with Vulpix, so yeah.
So did you just get to choose any Pokemon as your starter?
No, there's 3. There's one, I can't remember the name of the other 2, but it was the typical fire, water, grass. The other one was, it's like a lobster kind of Pokemon. I'm not super familiar with it.
Lobster.
Or like a crab, some crustacean. It's not crabby, it's a newer one.
Okay, so then it's Corfish.
Maybe.
It's like a little red crab, and it's got like...
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Like it's got like more rounded claws.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so speaking of well, we'll come back to Ninetale. Oh, fuck. Pinsir.
He's gonna kick my ass. I gotta put him to sleep right away. God, please don't do this to me.
He's gonna
please go to sleep.
Destroy you.
Oh my God.
Oh.
So it basically to win these bug catching contests, I don't exactly know what like the requirements are, but I usually just try to catch a Pinsir or a Scyther.
Does Hypnosis have a 100%
no
success rate? Okay.
No, it's I think 60%.
Okay.
Okay, I can probably tackle.
Yeah, so every Pokemon is in this. Every Pokemon up to that point.
So up to Emerald version?
Up to Emerald version.
Okay. Oh, God.
Every Pokemon.
Awesome.
Including all of the legendaries from the previous games.
So how are they accessible? Are they just, you can find them anywhere?
Some of them, I don't know like how to access all of them. I just know that they're all accessible. Here is what I do know. I know that after you complete how do you say it? Hoenn?
Mm-hmm.
The Hoenn Pokedex, you talk to somebody and he gives you access to all 3 birds through like some like dialogue.
Okay.
I know that you get Mewtwo. This is interesting. The way to get Mewtwo is to breed a Mew with a Ditto.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah. Some of this stuff will make sense. Yeah, so that was cool. I already talked about the new starter Pokemon. Okay, so some moves have been changed, and I can't tell you about... There have been a lot of moves that have been changed.
Okay.
And I haven't seen all of them, but I saw that, like, when I downloaded it, it's like, well, a lot of fucking moves have been changed. But these are the ones that I've experienced. So, Tackle, because the Pokemon is throwing itself at the other Pokemon, there's recoil damage to Tackle. A little bit of recoil damage.
A lot or just a tiny bit?
Just a tiny bit.
Okay.
But there's recoil damage. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Tail Whip does a little bit of fucking damage, as well as, what does it, lower their defense? Right. Their attack? Yeah. It does a little bit of damage because you're fucking hitting the other Pokemon with your tail.
Right.
It makes sense. I guess they decided to make... And Tail Whip only does 10 damage, so it's not like...
powerful.
Yeah. And Splash only does... Splash does damage now. It does 20 damage. Making it a little bit easier for those people who want... Yeah, I don't think it's necessary.
I mean,
some changes are unnecessary, but they're not bad necessarily.
If that's their vision, then cool.
Yeah. There are some new moves. Okay, this is the embarrassing part because I put 2 moves on here that I thought were new, and then I looked them up and I'm like, oh fuck, that's embarrassing. So I had to cross them off. Those 2 moves, I didn't know that Fairy Lock was a move. It's... I don't know if you've heard of Fairy Lock. You probably have.
No.
It's a fairy type move that prevents the Pokemon from escaping the next turn.
Oh, okay.
And then another move called Shadow Punch I didn't know existed. It's a ghost punch move. I didn't know that existed.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's a really fucking useful move for fighting type.
Yeah, that's a great move.
Okay, so there are a lot more new moves than this, but these are just the ones that I'm aware of. Ice Ball. So it's a physical ice attack.
Yep.
Yeah. And Shield Slam.
Yes.
It's a steel... Is that a move that exists?
Mm-hmm.
Ice Ball exists
Those both
too?
exist.
Ice Ball does?
So Ice Ball is a... that existed in Gen 3. Shield Slam, I don't think was in Gen 3. I think it was in Gen 4.
Embarrassing myself further then.
No, you're fine.
But...
you haven't played those gens.
No, so. I haven't. So, but I do know that there are other new moves because they talked about it a little bit in the description for the game. I just haven't seen them yet, I guess.
Okay.
So, some typing changes for a lot of Pokemon. Here's the ones that I've seen.
Okay.
I'm about to talk about the 2 that I didn't like. These are the only 2 complaints that I had, and I was irritated with them to the point that I broke into the ROM and I made the adjustments myself.
Really?
Yes.
You did this. You actually.
I'm the fucking tech agent, Isaiah. I do as I please. Yeah, I forced my way in and I just did it myself.
All right.
So, Ninetales.
Oh, there it is. Found it.
Nice.
Oh, but
Ninetales.
Right.
Which is, I don't know if a lot of you know this, but it's based on the spiritual being, a nine-tailed fox, which is known as Kyubi no Kitsune. Kitsune meaning fox. So the fox is a very spiritual creature in traditional Japanese beliefs.
Right.
So the nine-tailed fox is like an omnipotent being that is usually portrayed as knowing everything that happens on Earth at any given time. Yeah, that's a lot. You were
sorry. I
was looking at Isaiah's face, which is something I have a tendency to do when we play this game. I really shouldn't do that.
But yeah, you're saying that like the nine-tailed fox, it's like a big thing.
So you'd think, it's a spirit being, right? And Game Freak has acknowledged that by allowing Ninetales to have access to a lot of fucking ghost type moves. So this ROM hack makes Ninetales a fire psychic, not a fire ghost.
Okay.
I really didn't like that, so I went in and I changed that to a fire ghost.
I was gonna say,
I was like
I don't
not happy about that at all. Yeah, I don't understand it at all. So I went in and changed that. Here's the other one. We've talked about this before on the show. The next two we've talked about.
And you're going to hear about them next time on Pokemon Crystal.
All right. Yeah, next time.
Baby.
Cliffhanger.
Let's go. Cliffhanger.
Have you seen the tick yet?
No.
You should. It's really good. Okay.
Next time.
You'll get that reference later.
All right.
Bye.